Why isn't anyone talking about the full picture of anxiety? You've been taking meds for years, and yet you're still part of the 25% of the population suffering from anxiety. Clearly, either the meds aren't working, or the powers that be who prescribe those medications aren't looking at it the right way. Hi, I'm a board-certified integrated medicine specialist. I treat patients who've been at their wits' end battling anxiety disorders for years. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the full story about anxiety medications that your doctor isn't allowed to tell you. Because not only do they have the wrong tools to treat your anxiety, but they are most likely not looking at it in the right place. And that could be the exact reason why you're still anxious. You see, anxiety doesn't look the same for everyone. For some, it's a passing emotion, while for others, it's a chronic disorder with mental and physical symptoms. While it feels the same from the outside, the brain shows why your anxiety is not the same as the person sitting next to you. Because inside your brain, anxiety is caused by different patterns. I'm talking about the alpha and beta brainwave patterns. Beta is your brain's active, alert, problem-solving state. Alpha is your brain's calm, restful, relaxed state. But in an anxious brain, these patterns get stuck. In some people, anxiety shows up as an overactive beta pattern, which means the brain is locked in high alert mode. Even when there's nothing to worry about, the brain is still acting like there is. This person feels restless and unable to switch off no matter how hard they try. In others, anxiety comes from suppressed alpha waves. The brain has lost its ability to shift into a calm state. So even during rest, even during sleep, the brain never truly relaxes. This person feels chronically exhausted but never refreshed. So you have different sources of anxiety with completely different things happening inside the brain. And yet, you're taking the same prescription without knowing what's actually causing your anxiety. You can't blame meds because they are not made to distinguish these brainwave patterns. They're just a one-size-fits-all solution applied to a universal problem. To be perfectly clear, I'm not saying that medications aren't helpful or they don't work at all. Because when anxiety reaches its worst, especially during an anxiety attack, when everything else feels completely out of control, medication is the real lifeline that stops the freefall. It creates enough stability in your nervous system so that you can actually function. So if you're currently on anxiety medication, do not stop taking it abruptly. Stopping suddenly without a plan can actually destabilize your nervous system and make things significantly worse. What you need to understand is the difference between symptoms and root cause. Anxiety medications work on your brain's chemistry. They adjust neurotransmitters like serotonin to reduce the intensity of what you're feeling. But your anxiety doesn't only live in your chemistry, it also lives in your brain's electrical patterns and in the way your brain has been wired through years of stress, experience, and repeated anxious episodes to respond to the world around you. So meds could be a short-term solution, but they're not the long-term strategy because you can't medicate your way out of a brain regulation problem. For this, you need something that can work at the deeper brain level, that can identify which brainwave pattern is causing the anxious feeling, and that can fix the issue at the root cause. That something is called brain mapping. Brain mapping quite literally maps the electrical activity of your brain in precise detail. In it, small sensors are placed gently on your scalp. These sensors pick up the electrical signals your brain is already producing and translates all of that into a detailed visual map of your brain's function. For the first time, your anxiety isn't just a feeling you're trying to describe. It's a pattern you can see, a specific, measurable, identifiable pattern that tells us exactly what's dysregulated, exactly where it's happening, and exactly what needs to change. Instead of trying 5 different prescriptions over 3 years, hoping one works, you know from day one exactly what you're dealing with and exactly what needs to be addressed. But fixing the root cause isn't just about mapping the patterns. It takes one step above and retrains the brain that has spent years learning to be anxious. And this is done with neurofeedback therapy. In it, you sit comfortably in a chair and the sensors on your scalp read the brain's electrical activity in real time. When your brain produces regulated patterns, the screen brightens, the audio becomes clear and full, your brain notices this reward and naturally wants to produce more of it. But the moment your brain drifts back into those anxious, dysregulated patterns we found on your brain map, the screen fades. And your brain, without you consciously doing anything, finds its way back to the healthier pattern. This happens hundreds of times in a single session. That process is called operant conditioning. And it's the same fundamental mechanism your brain uses to learn any skill. Riding a bike, playing an instrument, speaking a new language, your brain learns through repetitive feedback. Neurofeedback simply harnesses that exact same learning mechanism and points it directly at your anxiety. So You can now see how it's different from medication. Medication tells your brain how to feel. Neurofeedback teaches your brain how to function. This is exactly what we do at Vive Wellness. Our Brain Bloom program is specifically designed to work with anxious brains because we know the brain doesn't heal in isolation. It heals as part of a system, and that system needs support at every level. So here's how the Brain Bloom program actually works from start to finish. It starts with your comprehensive neuroassessment. Before we design a single element of your protocol, we map your brain. Your QEEG brain map reveals the specific dysregulated patterns driving your anxiety. We also run a stress response evaluation to measure your nervous system's resilience. And we run performance testing to benchmark where your cognitive function is right now, so you have a clear picture before to measure your progress against. From there, we build your protocol. Alongside neurofeedback, we use precision peptide therapy. Peptides are targeted biological compounds that enhance your brain's neuroplasticity, essentially making your brain more receptive and responsive to retraining the happenings in your neurofeedback sessions. Every few weeks, your protocol is adjusted based on your interval brain map, updates, and biomarker testing, because your brain is changing and your treatment needs to change with it. Plus, you don't have to stop your current medication to start Brain Bloom. The program is designed to work alongside your existing treatment. As your brain builds genuine regulatory capacity, session by session, your physician can guide a gradual, careful reduction in medication if and when the time is right. The goal is a brain that no longer needs the support, not a sudden withdrawal that destabilizes everything you've built. And if you're thinking, I need this, but I can't get to a clinic right now, we have hybrid programs that combine in-clinic treatment with at-home protocols, so you can start from exactly where you are. If you want to learn more about it, the link in the description below.